obviously we have many guests with us today as part of the Star Student Program. Do we have any guests of Exchange Acts today? I don't think I saw any. All right. Okay. Well, now we'll go into our everyone that's here today because of our Star Student Program. We appreciate y'all being here today. It's a very unique accomplishment to have that. Of course, it's something that I never accomplished myself, but I'm glad to have y'all here today. So, and what's that? Oh, okay. But at any rate, so for the past several years and for as long as I've been here, Mr. Eric Hornick has been running our Star Student Program. He's been doing a very good job of it. We appreciate him doing it every year so that I don't have to do it. And so without further ado, I will bring up the chairman of the Star Student Committee, Mr. Eric Hornick.
Welcome, everyone. Thank you for being here today. I'm excited to join the Dublin Exchange Club and extending my congratulations to the 2022 Star students and teachers. Today is a great day for Exchange. Today we honor our highest achieving high school seniors and the teachers who have been most instrumental in their academic achievement. I want to recognize some of our guests. Lawrence County Superintendent Clifford Garnto, thank you for being here. Fred Williams couldn't be here. He had a prior obligations from Dublin City Schools. Trinity Christian School Headmaster Jeremy Blackstock, thank you. Thanks also go to Peyton Towns from the Courier-Herald for being here, as well as Pat Brock and Kevin Gibson to be in here to cover this event and get those pictures and videos for us. Also would like to recognize the parents, spouses, friends, and other family members of the students and teachers who are being recognized here today. As a parent myself, I know that these Star students and teachers honor today that they needed a lot of support and encouragement, and I'm glad that you could join them here to celebrate in their success. Thank you for being here. Many programs and scholarships honor the academic achievements of students. The Student Teacher Achievement Recognition, or STAR program, is unique that it also honors the dedicated teachers who have inspired that achievement. The purpose of the STAR program is threefold: to recognize academic achievement in Georgia's high school and to motivate students to be good scholars and high achievers, to honor excellence in teaching, to promote teaching as a career, and to encourage outstanding teachers to remain in the classroom, to demonstrate the business community's commitment to excellence in education and to increase interaction between students and the business community. Since 1958, the STAR program has honored nearly 28,500 high school seniors and a teacher that they have chosen to share in this recognition. The PAGE Student Teacher Achievement Recognition Program is sponsored by the Professional Association of Georgia Educators Foundation. To be honored as a STAR student, a high school senior must have scored in the highest in his or her graduating class on any one administration of the SAT. The student must also be in the top 10% among the top 10 students or his or her class based on grade point average. A STAR teacher is selected by the student as the one teacher who has been most instrumental during his or her academic career. These STAR teachers embrace the opportunity of helping bright and hardworking students who devote themselves to their schoolwork. Throughout the state, high school STAR students compete for school system titles, and system STAR students compete for region-wide honors in the 12 STAR regions in Georgia. The state PAGE STAR student is selected from the region winners. And now let's meet our 2022 STAR students and teachers. As I call your name, please come forward. From Dublin High School, Ashdin Shah and his STAR teacher, Christopher Brantley.
I chose Mr. Brantley as my star teacher because he's the reason why I'm standing here, first of all. He's the one who helped me increase my SAT score by at least 300 points, I'm not even gonna lie. He put at least 3 hours a day after school just for me, just so I could do better in the SATs. You know, we had a whole journey ourselves. It took about 4 months? 4 months? Yes, 4 months every day after school, 3 hours. He helped me out a lot with math, a lot. I respect that. You know, we struggled with some problems, but we overcame that. It was fun. That was part of the journey. And he helps me now with my college calculus class every day after school. I just bug him, like I need help. Then I plan to attend now Georgia Tech after high school to major in aerospace engineering and be a spacecraft designer after high school. Yeah, that's the plan now. Thank you.
Introduce your guest.
And I have my parents with me, my mom, Asha Shah, and my dad, Sachin Shah. Thanks to them, I'm here in this world. My principal, Dr. Polk, and yeah, that's about it. Thank you so much for having us.
I want to keep it short as well. I've been teaching in Dublin for about 20 years, and once in a while, some students come along, because I've taught a lot of bright students, and anybody who's taught math, and I know you're in here, you've experienced a lot, and the last 2 years has been really tough. The thing that what happened was one day Ashdin said, hey, can you help me out with SAT? And it started slow, and a lot of them aren't serious a lot of times and fall out, get a little help and, oh, this is too hard or whatever. But he kept coming, and that kind of showed me that he was serious about it. And the thing that's different about Ashdin is something that's really hard to teach in math, okay? And it's the want to, the trying. I can model a problem and model it 3 times, and then you do the next one, and everybody can come along with that. But it's kind of rare when I have someone who says, don't help me, let me figure this out. I got this. And that didn't work. Let me try something else. And see, he's got that little thing. And it's just rare. I see it once every few years. I think he's going to be fine because of that want-to attitude. And so I think if we'd have had a chance to work a little longer, we'd have probably done even better. But I think it's wonderful what he did, and it's obvious he has support, and he's going to be fine wherever he goes, as long as he continues with that want-to.
The City of Dublin Natural Gas provides the most cost-efficient source of energy available today. So for your home, choose the most natural resource. Safe, clean, efficient. All new subdivisions around the Dublin area have natural gas available. Start reducing your energy bills today with Dublin City Natural Gas Department. Natural gas, the smart choice. Call 277-5048 today and let us help you start saving today.
The diesel and automotive technology programs at Oconee Fall Line Technical College are hands-on and can be completed in a year and a half or less. Students gain valuable experience working on state-of-the-art equipment and training aids, and even maintain the college's diesel truck and vehicle fleet, which allows them to see the real-world issues they'll encounter on the job before they graduate. During labs, students are exposed to every part of the automobile or diesel truck and are required to put the theories they've learned in the classroom and during lectures into action. OFTC's diesel program is certified through Daimler Trucks of North America's Get Ahead program, which allows students to add certifications to their resume before entering the workforce. Automotive technology students can also earn entry-level certifications through Automotive Service Excellence. Adding these certifications to their resume before entering the workforce sets OFTC graduates apart when applying for jobs. These programs are flexible and instructors work with students to accomplish their individual goals. Day and some evening class options are available, and the majority of a student's classwork is done online, so time on campus is spent applying knowledge and practicing skills through lab assignments. Careers in the diesel and automotive technician industry are in demand, and the more a technician learns, the more valuable they become to their employer. Opportunities in these fields are endless.
East Lawrence High School star student Chan Knowles and star teacher Leidy White.
Good afternoon. How's everybody doing?
Great.
All right. I'd like to start by introducing myself, my family, and some people from my school. So I'm Chan Knowles, East Lawrence High School. This is the star teacher I've chosen, Miss Leidy White. My parents, Tim and Shannon Knowles. My girlfriend, Jamie Norris. We have my principal, Dr. Collins. My counselor, Ms. Tokar, and superintendent, Mr. Garto. And we can't forget Miss Pat. Miss Pat's there for everything. She's there for sports, there for school. She's everywhere. She's always taking pictures. I have to hide my face every time she comes around. But so I'd like to start. I wish I could just come off the top of my head like they did, but I'd like to kind of write stuff down because I don't want to miss anything. Because she's well deserving of every word and every thought I have. So I'd like to just type it and read kind of what I typed and wrote. So. Today, I'd like to congratulate Miss Leidy White as I've selected her for the star teacher and be given the honor to explain why. I've selected Miss White for many reasons and only the short time span I've known her. Although I have only known her personally for 3 years, we have been through so much together. It all started with my first Spanish class as she was my teacher. I was a little hesitant at first learning a new language, but after the first week, I knew her class would be just fine. Ms. White makes sure that any material she teaches is understood by all of her students. She goes out of her way to spend one-on-one time with each student to prepare them for success. In fact, besides her planning period, you could practically take away her desk out of her classroom and it wouldn't make a difference because she's always moving around to make sure to help anyone in need. Furthermore, she goes out of her way to make sure teaching is relatable. In other words, she can turn any situation we learn about into a possible real-life experience. Teaching is more than just a job for her. It's a passion. It's an experience like no other that I know she wouldn't trade for the world. And I feel like we've been through so much, especially through Senior Beta Club. Miss White, I can honestly say that I've never met a person more dedicated to their job or students than Miss White. I've seen Miss White shed blood, sweat, and tears to ensure her students could get where they're going. She gladly bears the stress of others on top of her own, if it means she sees a smile on their face too. At this point, stress is but another word in the dictionary for Miss White. It's never beat her, and I've never seen someone handle it as well as she does. In addition, Miss White is a great Christian lady that fully lives up to what God calls her to be. If there's ever a tough situation, she's steadfast in prayer and won't stop until she receives an answer. I've heard students call her names, adults disrespect her, and students' parents try to argue with her, but nothing can faze her. Through it all, there's a smile on her face, and none of these have ever changed her attitude. Miss White is a fighter and a lover for her family and students. Though not blood related, I feel like Miss White is my family, and there's nothing I wouldn't do for her. By far, in my opinion, she's one of the most under-recognized and underappreciated people at our school and possibly even in our district. And after all she's done for us, this is but a small token I can offer for her. Congratulations, Miss White, and on behalf of me as well as East Lawrence High School, we love you and thank you for all that you do.
It's kind of hard to beat. I'm just like Chan. I had to write my thoughts because if not, I know what I want to say, but the words just won't come out. Chan first walked into my classroom in January of 2020, and we all know how that semester turned out. He was one of approximately 30 students in that class, but I immediately noticed his vibrant personality and his eagerness to learn Spanish. During that time, I also began helping with Beta Club, and it was then that I truly began to know who Chan was as a person. There are numerous adjectives that I could use to describe Chan, such as intelligent, studious, driven, energetic, talented, dependable, optimistic, and hardworking. These are just a few of the many qualities that makes Chan an amazing person. But if I could only pick one word to describe him, it would be kind. And this is something that I admire most about him. Most of us need to remind ourselves every morning or at any situation to be a kind person because it's the right thing to do. So it is very rare to encounter someone who is just naturally and genuinely kind. Not just sometimes, not just when he's in the mood to be kind, and not just because he is told to be kind, but because that's who he is. I don't know how many times Chan has asked, Miss White, is there something that I can do for you? Or is there something that I can do to help? Or I'm going to the media center during lunch to tutor somebody. Now, how many teenagers do you know that will willingly lose their lunch or time to be on social media to go help tutor somebody in the media center? Or helping other students in Spanish too, because verb conjugation is a nightmare, and he is a natural and doesn't mind stepping in and helping me in the classroom. There are countless random acts of kindness that I have witnessed Chan do, and they never cease to amaze me. And he does all of this while also maintaining a very busy schedule. He is involved in work-based learning, dual enrollment, band, soccer, FCA, senior beta club, TSA, school news every morning, student council, and is the student body president. And he does all of this while still remaining humble and kind and always willing to lend a helping hand. Chan, you are the true definition of a leader. I will end by stating a quote by Anne Frank. She once said, "How lovely to think that no one need wait a moment. We can start now, start slowly changing the world. How lovely that everyone, great and small, can make their contribution toward introducing justice straight away. You can always, always give something, even if it's only kindness." So Chan, you deserve all the good things that come your way. Thank you.
Good morning, this is Kyle Gerard with A+ Flooring and Construction. I'm standing in a home that we recently renovated for a customer. The kitchen is a very vital part of a home, especially when you get ready to resell or just you like to entertain people. We came in with new granite countertops. We even changed some of the seating areas of it. We refinished all the cabinets, put new doors, new hardware. We can use your existing cabinets. One of the things that we did that changed the look of this kitchen was the lighting that we did. We added a lot of LED spotlights, went from an old oak, gunstock, hardwood floor to a new hickory, random length floor. We can change it from top to bottom. Lots of many pretty things that we've done. Come by and see us at A+ Flooring and Construction at 1801 Rice Avenue in Dublin, Georgia, or give us a call at 478-676-2662. Hope to see you soon.
My name is Phil Patel. I am one of the part owners here and the general manager here at the Hampton Inn & Suites. First time when I got introduced to Morris Bank, the people were so friendly and helpful. You feel like that you are appreciated there. At Morris Bank, everybody down at the bank is so friendly, and not just to myself, they're just friendly to everybody. They want us to succeed because our success is their success at the same time. That makes a lot of difference, and they're always there for us.
Trinity Christian School star student Autumn Claxton and star teacher Candice Usury.
Hey y'all, so I'm Autumn and I'm from Trinity. First off, I'd like to introduce to my parents, Connery and Angie Claxton, and I want to thank them for all of their support and encouragement. They have followed me all over the world to help me pursue my dreams. From late night softball games to extracurriculars and now to college visits. They have been there for every step of the way. Next, I would like to introduce to you Miss Trinity's headmaster, Mr. Blackstock. I haven't known Mr. Blackstock for very long, but I knew right away he cared about getting to know all of the seniors at Trinity, all of the students at Trinity. He came to senior camp with us and immediately began trying to learn all of our names. He would say it every time he would see us. He would be like, "There's Autumn." He continues to do this every time he sees me in the hallway. He calls me by name. He is such an amazing leader of the Trinity family, and I would like to thank him for being here with me today. I would also like to introduce Mr. Fennell, who is the academic director. He taught me in middle school, and I have truly enjoyed getting to know him over the past few years. Finally, I would like to introduce Miss Candice Usury. I have chosen her as my star teacher for many reasons. She is an amazing teacher who cares deeply for her students. She taught me pre-cal, and it was by far the hardest class I've ever taken. She pushed me harder than any other teacher ever has, and I love that about her. I think I'll be more prepared for my future because she pushed me so hard. I loved many things about her class, but my favorite part was her unit circle project. This assignment was to draw something with a unit circle inside. My project was a Polaroid camera. I drew the unit circle inside the lens. I also really enjoyed all of her jokes. She tried to make math more fun every day. Another extremely amazing thing about Miss Usury is her organization. If you talk to anybody about her class, they're going to mention the packets. She's extremely organized and teaches from packets instead of a book. Personally, I love this. Every unit has a different color and every section is numbered. It's extremely easy to figure out if you're missing a section or an entire unit. Me being an extremely type A person, I love this about her class. Miss Usury has personally influenced me all throughout junior and senior year. She cared deeply for us and wanted us to succeed. However, she wanted us to work for it and go to her if we needed extra help. She offered tutoring 2 times a week. One option was before school and one was after. This really stood out to me because she took her personal time out of the day to make sure that all of us succeeded. She is a one-of-a-kind teacher who always wants her students to succeed. Not only was she my pre-cal teacher, but she was also our counselor. She helped me so much with college applications. I went to her office at least once a week, probably more than any other senior. She always helped me with my questions, and even if she didn't know the answer, she would always find out. I plan to attend Mercer University or Georgia Tech, and I'm still not decided yet. I plan to pursue a degree in biology or biochemistry and eventually attend medical school to pursue being a pediatrician. Thank you, Ms. Usury, for your commitment and dedication to helping your students, and I would like to thank all of y'all for being here today.
It's weird hearing Miss Usury said that many times because I'm formerly Miss Cannon, but just got married in November, so you didn't mess up one time, so that's good because I still call myself Miss Cannon. But as she said, I was her pre-calculus teacher last year, and first period, 8 a.m., I taught, we were talking about sine and cosine and tangent, whatever a junior wants to talk about at 8 o'clock in the morning. But what stood out to me about Autumn is that she was probably the most attentive student I've probably ever taught. She listened to literally every word that I said, and even if I forgot that I said it, she would remember if I said it or not. She is extremely thorough. If I had a kid in Autumn's class and they missed a day, that would be who they would be getting their notes from, would be Autumn. She takes extremely detailed notes. She's very meticulous in her work. She rarely makes a mistake, which is why she's been so successful up to this point. But when she did make a mistake, she always wanted to know why. What did she do that, kind of threw her off the wrong path? And that stands out to me as a teacher, too, because sometimes it's just as important to know why the wrong answer doesn't work, just as much as why the right answer does. And she was one of those students who just really wanted to know the why this formula worked, why did we go down this path, why does this path not work, and she was one that really wanted to know the why. And that's what I try to teach my students. I try to teach them the why behind the math. Not all of them want to know. A lot of them are like, how can I get to the right answer as fast as possible? But Autumn always wanted to know why, and she always was interested when I would go off on a tangent about, how cool this math is, and would throw some nerdy math jokes in there. And Autumn was like the only one who would laugh at them, but it's okay.
Tell us one now.
Oh, you're putting me on the spot right now. I'll come up with one. But she was always, like I said, she was focused, she was awake. And she listened to everything that I said, and I think she appreciated those tangents that I took off and started explaining the why. And that's what made her, I think, more detailed in her work, because she truly did understand the math. And one thing that I do that my students love is, or my honors level students, is they have to take a test, but at the very end they have to explain why the answers worked, why this process worked, why this didn't work. I call them celebrations of knowledge, but she would be so thorough in her answers. She knew exactly why this worked and why this answer was correct and why this answer was not, which once again made her stand out. Every word that I've heard from the other teachers describes Autumn as well. She's bright, she's intelligent, she's driven, she has a hard work ethic, she's thorough, and that's why she's been successful, and that's why she's going to continue to be successful. I think she truly loves to learn. I think that she is going to continue to learn, and that's what's important as teachers, is that we instill that love of learning, that they truly want to keep going. They have that want to that Mr. Brantley talked about, and they want to know the why, and that is what we want out of our students, is so that they will never stop growing and never stop learning. And as a result, we're going to end up with better students and better people. So I'm very honored to be up here with all the other fabulous teachers, and I'm honored that Autumn chose me. I don't have favorites, but if I did, she'd be at the top. I think she's marked Georgia off her list, though, of colleges, which makes me slightly sad, but she knows that I'm going to support her regardless of where she goes. And I'm just truly, I'm so proud of you, and I'm proud of every other student who's represented here today. It's a huge accomplishment, something I would never have gotten, but I'm honored to be up here today, so thank you.
Badcock Home Furniture and More is your home store, where you'll find great savings on new living room sets, sofas, love seats, recliners, and more. Badcock Home Furniture and More has great savings every day on bedding and bedroom sets. Shop Badcock Home Furniture and More for a great selection of dining room sets. And save every day on electronics and appliances at Badcock Home Furniture and More, 1927 Highway 441 South in Dublin. Call 275-3144 for more information, or stop by and see Wendy and Tim Sumner or any of their friendly staff today at Badcock and More Home Furniture Store, where no credit is ever refused.
Here at Stepping Stone, you are never alone. If you or someone you know has been a victim of child abuse, please call our fully confidential crisis number at 478-595-8339.
West Lawrence High School star student Vaibhav Mishra and star teacher LaRae Tyler.
Good afternoon, everyone. I want to start off by thanking the Exchange Club and the STAR program for organizing such a great event recognizing academic excellence among local students. Some guests with me today include my parents, my mom, Sweta Shah, my dad, Gangesh Mishra, as well as my counselor, Mrs. Holly Passmore, my principal, Dr. Kemp, and the superintendent, Mr. Garnto, as well as my STAR teacher, Mrs. LaRae Tyler. For my STAR teacher, I chose my 9th grade World History and 11th grade AP US History teacher, Mrs. LaRae Tyler. As a freshman in high school, registered to take World History second semester, I was met with 6 months of dreadful stories of the horror and challenging coursework that Mrs. Tyler's World History class offered. After hearing about the hard academic rigor of the class, being the academically inclined student, I was looking forward to meeting such a legendary teacher who could quench my thirst for intellectually stimulating material. As the first semester slid by and I entered Mrs. Tyler's class, I was beyond excited to meet this teacher. In class, Mrs. Tyler had a unique teaching style where students could genuinely tell that she was interested in teaching the history material, but even more that she wanted to instill that enthusiasm in each of her students. But the most unique aspect of Mrs. Tyler was her incessant determination to assist each of her students in accomplishing what they could to their full potential. And although I entered her class with 100 average, and it was not nearly as hard as the other students said, it did take me a few extra hours to study for those very unique kinds of tests she offers. From recommending me to try extemporaneous speaking competitions or nominating me for the Governor's Honors Program, there are multiple components of my high school journey which would not have been complete without her support. Ms. Tyler taught me to enjoy history and to have a deep respect for the events that have transpired before us. She taught me to become a better person, serving as the National Honor Society advisor. And Mrs. Tyler also taught me to become proficient in my writing abilities, with multiple 500-word essays that usually would take me hours to write. After ending her class, I could write them in mere minutes. Furthermore, Mrs. Tyler taught me the quintessential culture of the American way of living, showcasing classical American movies in class the last week of school to celebrate all of us acing our AP exams. I mean, she showed the class Forrest Gump just because I had never watched it. And we did skip certain scenes because just to make it school appropriate. Even leaving her class, Mrs. Tyler has been a great support system for me, which can be a job within itself. I mean, she's written more than 20 letters of recommendations, gave so much helpful advice for college, and she has been crucial in my high school success. Her contributions to my high school career have been monumental to whatever success I've achieved, and I thank her for every bit of it. In the upcoming fall, I hope to attend Harvard, MIT, or Stanford, and double major in computer science and biology with a minor in music. Currently, my top career interests include becoming a neurosurgeon, neuroscientist, entrepreneur, and serving as public office at a national stage. Whatever career I end up choosing, I'm committed to utilizing my talents and academic intellect to improve the overall human condition and work towards solving real-world problems faced by many throughout the world. I'm extremely thankful for the incredible support I have found in my community from God, my parents, friends, teachers, and faculty. And I look forward towards a bright future for the next step in my journey. Thank you.
Well, good afternoon. My name is LaRae Tyler. I am so pleased to be here, so very thank you. Yes, I taught Vaibhav Gifted Honors World History in the 9th grade, AP US History in the 11th grade. He is, hands down, as you can tell, the most driven student I have ever had the opportunity to teach. First, Vaibhav may be shocked that I'm saying his actual name. First day, as any teacher knows, you go through the roster, and they're sitting there on the first day, and you're calling the Susies and the Johns, and I get to his name, and I pause, which some of you may not know. I grew up with a slight speech impediment. Nothing, it's not necessarily the speaking part that's the problem, which I'm sure Mr. Garnto is thinking that has never been an issue for LaRae, but it's the kind of the connection, so forth. But the kids in the class were telling me, say Vabs, say Vabs, and he didn't seem to be, have a problem with it at the moment. So yes, I kind of just stuck with Vabs. So if you hear me say Vabs throughout this speech, it's kind of my nickname for him, and his classmates call him that as well. But I will fast forward to 11th grade when I had to stop class, and it was a day or so before honors night, and I knew I was going to be saying his name. And I asked him, I said, okay, I really do need to make sure that I can say your name correctly. I said, because any parent should hear their child say their hear their name said correctly at honors night. So if you had been walking down the hallway at any point during my academic challenging class, you would have thought it was maybe a kindergarten class hooked on phonics, because I'm trying to make sure I was saying his name. I tell you the story basically, of course, not to necessarily talk of my embarrassment, but really is to speak of Vab's good humor and humility. Honestly, he has been quite a pleasure. His intelligence can scarcely be paralleled. I remember several occurrences throughout the 2 years of which I taught him. One in particular in 9th grade. He, as I'm standing up teaching, kind of with my hands, as you can tell, and I was getting excited, and Lord only knows what I was teaching in the moment. And Vabs is sitting toward the back of the room, and you may not know, but he excels in piano. He's quite musically gifted, from what I've been told. But he's actually playing the piano. He's watching, he's listening to me, but I don't think he realizes that he is actually playing the piano in class. But he's still listening to me. I never ever have to redirect him ever, because a lot of times he wouldn't even need to write down a word I was saying, because he knows it. He could repeat it word for word. One in particular, toward the end of my 9th grade world history class, they do have a project at the end. It's a culminating project. And as I'm walking around, I noticed back at the time where we actually kept Chromebooks in our classroom, this child had three computers going on at one time. One to do the research of the project, one because it was a Google Maps. I don't know if you're familiar, but he was working and creating that, and Lord only knows what the third computer was for. I was kind of flabbergasted, because I'm lucky that I can do my desktop and my Chromebook at the same time. Some people occasionally will congratulate me on, my AP scores. Honestly, any teacher standing before Vaibhav is going to look extremely well. Anyone could have stood in front of this child, and no doubt he would have made a 5. So I really can't take any credit for that. He is phenomenal. The amount of things that this kid has accomplished in his 4 years of high school, I cannot tell you. We truly would be here for hours. And yes, I do write several recommendations for him. And there's more than once that I have had to, okay, Vaibhav, come in for a second. What is this? I've never heard of this before. What is it? What did you do? What? But that's because, I've been teaching for almost 20 years, and this child is like no child that I've had to do as far as the amount of, now granted, I am a history teacher, and he excels in science and math, and so of course, a lot of the things I'm not necessarily familiar with. But I do hear of different competitions and so forth, but he goes on conferences. I can't tell you, has he missed class on occasion? Yes, but it's not because the child was sick. It was because he's hobnobbing with Richard Woods, our state superintendent, talking about just schools in general. He's conferencing or competing in piano. I could go on and on. I mean, he just recently won he'll have to explain some STEM thing, and I just barely had a chance to read about it. I mean, he is he is a trailblazer when it comes to innovative thought and ideas for anyone, but much less a high school student. Yes, he even, and I'm going to explain this incorrectly, and he's probably shaking his head behind me as I say this, but this child has created like a database. Because we are from Lawrence County, there's not as many resources as you would think for a child who excels in math research and so forth. And I am not that person to sit down and just discuss math with him. He created some sort of computer-type database so that he will have opportunities to find students like himself so that they themselves can discuss. I asked him, I said, it's kind of like a blog, and he chuckled at me and said, no, not quite like that, Miss Tyler. But it's just phenomenal. There's not many words that I can explain the things of which he has accomplished. By the time he graduates, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think he will have had 16 AP credits upon graduation. This speaks just for his drive, because we actually only have but 5 opportunities sit down at our school, but thanks to Lawrence County Board of Education and Mr. Garnto and our administration, they've allowed him to pursue more within virtual schools and online schools and so forth, so that he can have that and be competitive with these Ivy League schools of which he desires. So due to Vaibhav's drive and intelligence, I found myself working harder because he was my student. I did not want him and his classmates to be, quote unquote, punished for my inadequacies. So I worked, I researched, I increased the rigor in hopes it would prepare him and his classmates. But I just knew that I did not want to be the reason he and his classmates were not achieving the highest score on their AP test. So again, I should thank Vaibhav for giving me the challenge, and I'm forever grateful. I remember taking 3 days just to complete one of his recommendations, specifically for the Ivy League school that he mentioned before. It's because I just could not find the correct words to really sum up Vaibhav as a scholar, an intellectual, a researcher, innovator, an entrepreneur, just a really great human. And just like now, it's really difficult to express what a rare and unique student Vaibhav Mishra is. Furthermore, I'd be amiss if I did not mention Vaibhav's support system. He, of course, would not be the young man he is today without Mr. and Ms. Mishra guiding and supporting him in all walks of life. As a parent, we all know that school is definitely a family affair. And Mr. and Ms. Mishra, you have raised a wonderful son. Again, among the many great educators who have helped Vaibhav along his educational journey, I am honored that he chose me to celebrate in this achievement. Although I would not have particularly cared for him to mention the Forrest Gump thing, but it's a cultural phenomenon that needs to be watched. So again, thank you all. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Whether you're a Braves fan or a Dogs fan, it feels good to be a winner. I'm Don Carswell, and you'll have fun with a winning deal from Dublin Chevy Nissan. Come and see our championship selection of new and pre-owned trucks here at Dublin Chevy Nissan. Titan or Frontier, it's your choice. Sierra or Silverado, you're the winner. For the W, all you have to do is call, click, or come in. And remember, Don sells cars well, only at Dublin Chevy Nissan.
The kind of hot topics are things called patient-specific implants and instruments, which is where we use imaging like CT scans and MRIs to measure people's bone and look at the shapes of their bones, and then make implants and devices we use to implant the knee or hip replacement based on that particular person. And just about every company has that available, and people use it to varying degrees just based on, again, the patient's anatomy and whether there's some reason that you really need that extra assistance. There's also robotics that is starting to come out into the orthopedic world that's been in the general surgery world for a while now. We're starting to use robotic arms to do things like to help us make the cuts and shape the bone so the implants fit well.
Now if all of the STAR students and teachers could come back up for the announcement of our school system winners. The system winners are going to be invited to attend the STAR Region event to be held in Macon on March the 15th. At that event, a Region STAR student and teacher will be selected to attend the State STAR Banquet, which is held in April. For our city and county, Dublin High School makes up its own system, and then Trinity, West Lawrence, and East Lawrence are the Lawrence County system. For Dublin City Schools, STAR student Ashdin Shah and his STAR teacher Christopher Brantley are the winner. And the system winner for Lawrence County this year is STAR student Vaibhav Mishra and his STAR teacher LaRae Tyler.
Again, I want to thank each and every one of you for being here today, and I want to thank our educators. You know, I'll tell our young people, if somebody's made a difference in your life, let them know. And the only reason I know this is because I'm the son of a retired educator, and I go through town and people say, "Your mom changed my life. Your mom took time with me when nobody else would. Your mom improved my walk with Christ. Your mom did this and everything." And I tell them, I say, tell her, get on Facebook and tell her. You might send her a message. She might not send it back because she don't know how to work Facebook that well, but let them know. Let those people know that have made a difference in your life. And if there's a curse of educators, I come from a family of educators, it seems the ones y'all remember are the ones that give you a lot of problems. And I don't know why that is, but they stick. Because a lot of times I go home and I say, "Mom, so-and-so said you changed their life." They changed, and she'll say, "Who?" And "Mom, you remember?" She goes, "But now if one of y'all's name shows up in the paper and you're a bad kid," she say, "Oh, I remember him. He couldn't pass his test. He couldn't do it." You know, they stick in y'all's heads. So, but at any rate, if somebody has made a difference in your life, let them know. Reach out to them. I remember I've had teachers that have passed on that I saw after school, and I really wish when I saw them and just saying hello and exchanging pleasantries, letting them know what a difference they made in my life. So that's something you can carry, no matter if you stay here or go to MIT, wherever you might land. So, and as always, we want to thank y'all, thank the community for y'all's support. That's the only way we're able to do this. Because y'all keep supporting our fundraisers and keep on buying pancakes. On March the 17th, where's Chris Hamrick? He's got tickets. You can buy them right now. So, what's that? Get them early. Get them early. Buy them early and often. So, but no, we're the Exchange Club of Dublin. We've been here for 85 years, serving the community in a variety of ways. We do, of course, STAR student. We do the ACE Award, Athletes of the Year, and a numerous amount of scholarships. And of course, we're a primary sponsor for the Stepping Stone Child Advocacy Center. Our national project is the prevention of child abuse. So we're happy to do that. We're happy that all of you came today. Please stop, talk, and socialize as long as you want. Eric, do you have anything else? Is there anything else to come before the club today? If not, what is our motto? Unity for service.